Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Poet. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright, now what we here on today, Mr. Roll Up? Y'all see that? The boy Will is in this house for the last time. You see, ain't nothing in there. So you know what that means. It's time to go.
Just kidding.
It would be my pleasure. Goodbye, Master William. Hey, what's that, G? Goodbye, Will. Bye-bye, G. So, when is Jazz coming by to help you move? He's coming as soon as you leave. Good idea. But when he comes by, wish him all the best for me. I will. Sunday. Sunday.
Hey, who turned out the lights? Where is your
I am definitely gonna miss you, see.
Alright. Now, what you got to say on this, Mr. Roll Up? Well, before I go ahead and deliver the message behind this scene right here, I'm going to say this. So, this the fifth episode clip of The Fresh Prince off the 90s flow, going down memory lane, right? So, I'm going to end it here. You know, we going to switch off to a whole nother series of clips. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to say what's up next. Just stay tuned. All right? Now, here's the message, right? The message behind this. I'm going to relate my situation to this situation, right? I understand how Will felt about losing the house, everybody moving on. He came there at a vulnerable state. He was young, he was in the streets, he was bad. He ain't know where the hell his life was going at that moment, you know? And he got sent out there to change his life, to grow up and be a better man. And that's exactly what happened. He learned a lot through his journey of living there at that house. His very first day of going there, he pushed the hood to the side. I'm done with that shit. Look at this. You know what I'm saying? And his life changed from that moment on. Now, let me go ahead and put my spin on it. Like I said, where I can relate to his situation. Like I said before, I originally came from West Warren in Livernois. Anybody that know about that neighborhood, that's like one of the poorest neighborhoods in Detroit. Literally. Like, no bullshit. Rats, roaches, bed bugs, whatever the fuck you can name, is a normal over there. You know what I'm saying? One damn grocery store that's about 3 miles away. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the fucking ghetto. And that's where my parents came from, right? So by the time I turned about 5 years old, my mama like, hey, he can't be living over here no more. He can't grow up the way we did. And that's when we moved to 7 Mile. At that time, 7 Mile was like the suburbs. So I'm kind of like relating coming from the ghetto area to a nice like suburban area. Even though it was still in Detroit, still in the same city. It's just back then 7 Mile was like suburban, you know what I'm saying? Type shit. So that's kind of like me relating coming from the ghetto to the suburbs, like Will did, came from the ghetto to the suburbs. Even though I wasn't in the suburbs, I was still in the city. It was just like I said at the time, it was like a suburban area. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I turned 5, and we moved over there to 7 Mile, nice brick homes, everybody grass cut. It still was white people over there. It was real nice. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, this is supposed to be my better way of living, right? I had a lot of first times in that house. We lived in that house on 7 Mile from the time I was 5 until I was 18. Well, my parents, they stayed there longer. But when I turned 18, I moved out. So from the time I was 5 until I was 18, I did a lot in that house. You know what I'm saying? I had my first time in that house. The girl I told y'all about, when I had my first time with her at 12 years old, and you know, she grew up and got married to a dude, he gave her AIDS and she died and shit. It happened in that house. My first time happened in that house. Me growing up, having homeboys, bringing the homeboys over, it was in that house. The first time I got a girl phone number and cake bait with her on the phone for an hour plus, it was in that house. You know what I'm saying? When I was 5 years old, like I said, when we first moved in that house, my daddy had bought me a dog. It was a German Shepherd. The dog was like 5, 6 months old at the time, right? I remember I was upstairs, up there with my mama, right? I heard my daddy come in. I heard tracks like walking across the floor. Because you know in the kitchen, it's like hardwood. Well, not hardwood, but this tile. It's like tile floor. You know what I'm saying? So I could hear the clicking coming across the tile floor. I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know? So I go to the top of the stairs. I'm looking down the stairs, right? It's a dog come running up the stairs, ran straight up to me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? My daddy like, this your dog. His name was Rocky. I had him from the time I was 5 years old till I was 18, literally, like right before I moved out. Rocky was the house dog. He was very aggressive. He'll bite your ass, bark all day, did not play about his property. He protected the fuck out of us, did not play no games. You know what I'm saying? Everybody from my hood know about my dog Rocky. I grew up with that dog in that house. You know what I'm saying? And then it came to a point where he had arthritis, so he couldn't get up and move no more. He was just sitting there shitting on himself and everything. So we had to put him down. You know what I'm saying? It was there at that house. Like I had a lot of first times at that house. You know what I'm saying? When I turned 16, I told my daddy I wanted a garage rim. Like the backboard, you know, the rim and shit. You drill the holes into the garage, boom, you got a garage rim. Me and my boys, we used to hoop back there every day. My daddy used to hoop with us at that house. You know what I'm saying? I stole my mama car at 12 years old at that house. You know what I'm saying? I got my first ass whooping by my daddy in that house. Like, I took a lot of firsts in that house. You know what I'm saying? And then when I turned 18, I moved out. I got my own shit, you know? But I still was coming by every day. I still had my house key and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I come by, open the door, see moms and pops in there, you know, kicking with them and shit like that. Then I leave back out. I hit the block. Or I peel off or something. You know what I'm saying? That house was a safe haven. Like, I had a lot of shit going on in that house. You know what I'm saying? So, a couple of years after that, I go to prison, which is 2011. By that point, I was what, 21, 22, I was 21 going on 22, something like that, right? With that time, when I went to prison, my daddy died 2 years later, in 2013. When he died, my mother moved. So I called home one day and she tell me, hey, I sold the house. The fuck you mean you sold the house? You know what I'm saying? It's time to move on. So by that point, my mom been there at that house for about 20 years. At that point, you know what I'm saying? She was ready to go. That shit hurt me. I ain't gonna lie, like, what? Like, we supposed to always keep that house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done did a lot in that motherfucking house. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was younger, like 7, 8 years old or some shit. My parents did go to work. Sometimes they'd leave me at home, sometimes they wouldn't. This is one of them times they left me at home, right? About 7, 8 years old, no lie. I went up there in their room and I found this box that my daddy had on the shelf. And it was just a whole bunch of pornos. This back when VHSs, the tapes, not CDs or no Bluetooth or none of that, actual VHS tapes that you had to put in a damn, like, what they call it, video recorder. Yeah, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. But you had to put the tape in the actual slot shit to watch the damn movie, right? Man, I remember as a kid sitting there on their bed watching pornos while they at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm a little ass kid, don't know what the fuck going on, but I'm just watching this shit like, damn, this crazy. Like, I had a lot of firsts in that house, you know what I'm saying? And a lot more to continue went on in that house afterwards, you know? So I feel Will on that. Like, damn, like, the house gone, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of memories up in here. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of history up in here. So I get exactly how he was feeling. Like, damn, man, I ain't want this to happen. You know, like, even though we older and we grown up and it's time to move on, but it's hard letting it go. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you did a lot of things in that house. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I had to wrap up this series. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it was a lot more clips that I would have wanted to play, but I ain't trying to, you know, stick to these like little sitcoms that long. I'm just running through them. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that was the last episode of that series. You know what I'm saying? Everybody grew up. They moved on. They got their own shit. They here, they there. Everybody moved on. And Will was just like, damn, everybody done grew up and left. And we sold the house. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So I feel him on that. Because like I said, when I was in prison and my people told me they sold the house, I couldn't believe it. I was fucked up. Like, I spent most of my childhood in that damn house. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I feel Will, but, you know, when the time come, it come. You know what I'm saying? You got to move on. Everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And the season changed. It's time to move on. So take that with a grain of salt or, you know, whatever the situation is. When it's your time to move on, move on. Don't try and hold on to it because you done had it so long or you've been around it so long and you just accustomed to it. When it's your time to move on, move on. You know what I'm saying? How about that? It's been another episode of Roll Up a Pour Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.